Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We are in the Keeper's Guide today. We are continuing the chapter on magic. In this part we are talking about how you become a believer. It's going to touch on how sorcerers get that way and about non-mythos magic. So without further ado, let's read into this and see how this all goes. An investigator who comes face to face with a deep one or a ghoul has an experience that leaves no option but to believe in the cosmic horror of the Cthulhu mythos. However, reading the Cultes des Ghouls while safe in the apartment with lights on, the reader might dismiss the contents as a work of fantasy. This is the player's prerogative, but disbelief has its perils. Whether one believes that what is read or not, the knowledge is still absorbed. If the character chooses not to believe what they read in the Cthulhu mythos, knowledge granted by the book is added to the investigator's skill. The maximum sanity points are reduced by the corresponding amount, but no sanity points are lost. In this way, the investigator can accumulate considerable knowledge of the Cthulhu mythos without losing any sanity points at all. However, when encountering evidence of the mythos firsthand, the investigator will realize that all those accursed books held the truth. At that point, the investigator becomes a believer and immediately loses sanity points equal to his or her present Cthulhu mythos score. Keepers may be relieved that this requires little bookkeeping on their part. The player records their investigator's gain of Cthulhu mythos skill as normal, and it is that value that is deducted from their sanity points when becoming a believer. An investigator can choose to remain a non-believer until forced to lose sanity points for encountering the mythos firsthand. Viewing human corpses or torture may cause sanity point loss, but such does not lead to belief in the mythos. A non-believer may read mythos books and learn but not cast spells. First-hand experience of the mythos always calls for a sanity roll, and the loss of one or more sanity points compel an investigator to believe in the Cthulhu mythos thereafter. However, even some first-hand experience may not convince a disbeliever. If the sanity roll is passed for encountering a deep one, sanity 0/1d6, no sanity points are lost, and as such, an investigator might remain a non-believer, perhaps rationalizing the creature as earthly human mutation. However, meeting a clearly unearthly being or a manifestation of one of the gods of the mythos will always be enough to rip through the facade of the investigator's belief. An investigator can become a believer at any point the player wishes and take sanity point loss. How sorcerers get that way. Though investigators rarely have a chance, sorcerers and cultists sometimes swagger around with unseemly amounts of power. Where did it come from? When the character successfully casts a spell requiring opposed POW rolls to affect the target, this creates a chance for the caster's POW to increase through this exercise. If the caster wins the opposed POW roll, the subsequent roll to increase his or her POW may be attempted. If the result of a 1d100 roll is greater than the caster's POW, or the roll is 96 or greater, the caster's POW increases by 1d10 points permanently. As a reward for any luck roll results of 01, POW can be said to have been exercised. Roll the percentile dice, and if the roll is greater than the character's POW, or if the roll is 96 or greater, the character's POW increases by 1d10 points permanently. The character may be able to arrange a gift of or a trait of POW for some mythos deity. The rationale for this is best left to the keeper. Such an event is likely to increase Cthulhu mythos as well, and would cost additional sanity points besides those lost in the communicating with the entity. Increased power does not increase current sanity points. So the long and short of that section is if you make a POW attempt to cast a spell or opposed POW check and you win, when you're checking to see if it goes up, As long as your power is below 96, you just have to roll above your power and it'll increase. If your power is above 96, you have to roll a 96 or higher for your power to increase. Now we're on non-mythos magic. Other earthly magic or religiosity can be significant and can have effects in the game if the keeper wills it. Such earthly magic may be real or fraudulent. This is for the keeper, perhaps in discussions with the player group, to determine. Mechanics and procedures for such magic should be the same as those for mythos magic. Though the means and aims of earthly magic will greatly differ, if non-mythos magic is accepted in your game, it is suggested that you tie it to the occult skill. Horrific deeds should always cost sanity points. And that ends that section about becoming a believer and how sorcerers get that way and non-mythos magic. So the next one's going to be on the optional rules, and then I'll do another video after that just recapping the whole chapter. So look forward to those videos, guys, until we all game again.